This summer on the Digital Financial Revolution Tour, we travel to over 30 cities across the U.S. to spread the word about Bitcoin, generational wealth, and financial freedom. By popular demand, the revolution continues. Join the Queen of Crypto, Najah Roberts, and her special guests for a 3-day deep dive this October 21st through the 23rd in the ATL. Get your tickets early because this will sell out. Visit dfrexperience.com for more info.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fabulous show for our Bitcoin Business Basics here with Crypto Blockchain Plug. This is our educational arm, and we are so super excited to have you all with us today. I have an incredible guest. And yes, I am repping their company. And you all know me. I don't do too much repping of people's companies. But this is one that I have a story for. And you'll hear my story. And you'll hear how this whole thing came to fruition. Because it was really just, I don't want to say accidental, because nothing happens by accident. But I am proud to be here today to talk to you and be repping a shirt all day that says Paxful. I am a firm believer that entrepreneurship is something that we all need to be doing aside of our 9 to 5 because it is critically important. And as a Bitcoinpreneur, I am just super excited about having to just have Paxful brought back to my memory. And so with that, we have a special guest today. He is going to come on and share a little bit about Paxful, but he's going to share a little bit about who he is and what he does. And we're going to have a really genuine conversation about how Paxful can impact your everyday life, your everyday business, whatever your heart desires. I believe Paxful has a little bit of an answer for that, and I'll share why I think that very, very soon. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you Mr. John Balrup. Hello, welcome to the stage, John.
Hello, Najah. Hi, everyone out there. I'm very excited to be on this program, and I'm looking forward to talking about some basics, some Bitcoin basics.
Absolutely. Before we get started, I want to make sure that we're both on the screen. I want to make sure that our technology is working properly because I see you down in the queue, but I don't see you next to me. So I just want to make sure people are seeing them. So as long as everyone can text me or somebody can let me know we are seeing John, I am fine with that. Can you see yourself or do you just see me, John?
I only see you, Najah.
Yeah, I think, let's see what we have to do here. Let's see. Exit solo layout. Is that it? There we go.
I was about to say, although you couldn't see me, I felt like I was with you.
All right, so let's try this again. So I'm going to introduce to some and present to others Mr. John Balrup. Welcome, sir. How are you today?
I feel wonderful. I feel excited, and I feel extremely privileged to be on this show, to be on here with you, Najah, and have an opportunity to speak to people about some Bitcoin basics and just let's talk about life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I guess I'll start off. Again, I woke up this morning with Paxful on my mind. Paxful's been on my mind the last couple of days because, not just because of this interview, because I've been really searching for kind of a what's next for our community. Like, how do we get people engaged a little bit more on the entrepreneurship side of this whole Bitcoin thing? And so, yes, we're stacking Bitcoin, we're stacking Satoshis, and we're learning how to store properly. We're learning some of the basics and some of those things. And then comes people that are like, well, I'm doing this and I'm kind of bored. What else? And so I think, and I really feel strongly that Paxful can be our what next. So before you tell us all about Paxful and we get into some of the basics, just tell us a little bit about you and who you are.
Sure. So I'm John. As Najah said, I work in Paxful. I'm the Chief Product Officer. It sounds fancy, but it really isn't. It just keeps me connected to the product that our users use. Um, Me, like for a quick story, wasn't that long ago, 3 years, 3 years ago, working a blue collar job, you know, paycheck to paycheck. I was happy though. I'm not saying I wasn't a happy dude, but life was tough. The finances were tough, and work was hard. It could be tough. And a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, introduced me to the concept of Bitcoin and to a company, to a website called Paxful. And much like anyone, when you first hear about Bitcoin, of course, you have no clue what it is, and it just it does require a little embracing to understand exactly what that is. But that was how I got started in Bitcoin and with Paxful. It happened simultaneously. So in many ways, I'm a very proud one-trick pony. I know Bitcoin, I know Paxful, and I'm looking forward to talking all about that today.
Wow, that's incredible. And so you started a job and you had no idea what Bitcoin was before that.
Well, this was long before. Okay, I should explain a little more. I did not work for Paxful. I was just a user. This is like
Okay.
2016. So
Okay.
long before I ever worked here. I was a user. I was introduced to it again from a really good friend who also gave me a good pitch. And that's what people need. You need that mentor. This person was a strong mentor, really motivated me to try this out. And it did. I mean, it really changed my life now because I work for Paxful. But what Paxful did was that first step. That first step for a person to kind of break the cycle. I mean, there's so many ways to phrase this, but I was ready to die in the job I had happily. I had this job, I had expectations for my life. I could see my 40s, my 50s, my 60s. You know, I just wasn't able to see outside of that little box. And what Paxful did is, number one, showed me I was living in a little box. And I began to see opportunities to make money outside of work, a concept that to me seemed completely unrealistic. It almost seemed illegal to make that comparison. Like, of course I can't do that. I'm supposed to do this. Well, Paxful gave me the bravery to explore entrepreneurship. That's what it was. I didn't know I had no clue that's what I was doing. And, you start making a little money on Paxful by, quite frankly, it's like a retail business. Buy low, sell high. There's a lot of creative ways to do it. And when I started making a little money, it felt like funny money, to be honest with you. I really didn't feel like I deserved it. Like, that's how stuck in the cycle of life a person can be. And it's no fault of anyone that raised me or nothing. It was just the environment that I was in. So I got to give Paxful, and I'm talking to the people here, not because I work for Paxful. Yes, I do, but I could remember so clearly when I didn't, and when I was first getting started, and I was so excited that I'm making this little bit of money. I'm talking a little bit of money, but it felt like a lot. And I shared it with people, and you have to keep in mind when you talk to this person you're trying to share it with, they're in the same place I was in before I realized it.
Yeah.
When you get introduced to entrepreneurship and you see that there's more to be had out there than working 9 to 5 for some company and having a boss tell you what to do, that realization, that's the magical moment. And I know that Paxful is a tremendous gateway to give that to people who just honestly need that opportunity. Given that opportunity to spread their wings, again, I'm thankful for my friend that introduced me, but that's my journey. So now I work for Paxful, but 3 years after I became a user. This is like a dream come true. So imagine being like a fan of your favorite sport team. Like, I love the New York Mets. It'd be like growing up a Met fan and then playing for the Mets as a professional. That's what I feel like. That's what's possible.
Well, you know what? I feel the sincerity. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. And I am incredibly excited to really just hear. I actually want to ask you to go back one step, because a lot of us struggle with trying to talk to someone else to get them interested in something such as a Paxful. Do you remember kind of what the your friend said to you to even get you involved and engaged? Just do you remember what kind of the conversation?
I do. I do. I remember it well. I'd love to share it here. I'll summarize as much as I can. So, what he did was, uh, I mean, and he's from the same environment as me, which is, I mean, you can call it a poor environment. You know, he's from the same place as me, and he called out some of the realities that I was living as a young adult.
Mm,
And he called out, like, you know, I remember when, and this guy's been my friend forever, by the way. And he's like, I remember when we were younger, we had all these dreams. I wanted to be a professional tennis player. This is real stuff. He had his visions of life, and here I am working at a retail store, you know, and with trying to become a manager in that store. And I was told it might take 5 years, 5 more years. I was already there for a while. And so what he did, Najah, is he brought up my reality.
right.
He met, and he knew me long enough to know that there was a point in my life where I did want more. And he's like, "What happened? You know, like you just accepted this." And I'm telling you, you're so brainwashed by just your environment that I didn't feel like I was settling at all. I felt this is just what people my age do, right?
Mm,
I felt proud in my own way, and I do feel proud of those memories as well. They're all part of our journey. So what
right.
he did, Najee, is he called up my reality. He brought up an option, Bitcoin and Paxful. He mentioned a couple of use cases. A use case is a way that I can personally profit by using this platform by doing XYZ. He didn't give me much detail. He just kind of opened the door. And when I went in, I have to admit, you know, what he was saying to me, it kind of made me look at my previous life, at my younger life, and then look forward to what am I going to be? You know, so where was I? Where am I today? Which he called out, and what do I want to be? And when he questioned that, it made me explore. And when I saw what Bitcoin can do with Paxful, it made me believe. And let me tell you, those demons are hard to fight off. There was still doubt. I still wanted, in fact, I did. I was trading full time, making more money than I've ever made. And one little slip up, remember, when you're an entrepreneur, it's not like you go home at the bell, you know? So
Yeah.
I encountered my first little slip up and I quit. I said, nope, went back to working 9 to 5, you know, and I said, no, not for me, man, too risky. That same friend came back again and again and again. And, you know, I wish we all had a friend like that. I think we all may. We just have to keep our ears and eyes open. But that was what he said. And that was what happened. And um, you know, he was right. He was right. We should all remember how we feel as children. What did we dream of? There's no reason that those dreams can't come true. You know, there's no reason that some version of that dream can't come true. You know, and there's so many ways to make our families proud. And when you think of it like that too, I'm doing this on behalf of my last name, my family, the people that come, you know, that didn't have my opportunities, you know, whether it be my parents or my grandparents or even my cousins. Like that kind of stuff could really push a person to just honestly break the chains and try it out. You know, it's scary, but it's so liberating to be in that entrepreneur role.
Absolutely. So someone asked $1 million question. So what is Paxful? So let's get into that, and then I'll tell kind of a little story, my Paxful story. But so what is Paxful? Can you tell us about Paxful?
I would love to. I would love to, Najah. Paxful really is like a retail store. And I'm going to complete this analogy. It provides a platform for people that want to buy something or sell something to meet with a person that wants to buy or sell the opposite thing. So it just provides that space for these people to meet, right? Now, what these people are exchanging, how they do it, that's the beautiful thing about Paxful. It's up to the creativity of the person. So if you want to be a person who puts an offer up, similar to, say, for example, eBay, I put up an offer to buy Bitcoin and I just wait for people to come to my offer and we make an exchange. I buy their Bitcoin and I pay them. We have over 450 payment methods, including digital wallets and gift cards. So I could pay that guy in whatever form of payment I'm looking to do. So that platform that you have, that's where you become an entrepreneur. It really is up to you to think creatively. What kind of a route can I create that I could buy low and sell high? Simple as that. And you may not see it the first time that you're on there. You'll probably be attracted to the gift cards. So on Paxful, you can sell Bitcoin for gift cards at a discount. Technically, you feel like you're buying a gift card at a discount, right? So someone on the other side of that trade is looking to get Bitcoin with this gift card, and they're willing to take a hit on that price. Once you see you have that type of and I should also mention that it's not like one person. We have thousands. In fact, we have 10 million users. So I mean, there's no shortage of gift cards, and there's no shortage of offers, and there's no shortage of users. So as long as you're willing to go onto this platform and look at what people want, know what you have, and create some kind of a trade flow, because it is like a trade. Or if we go to the retail direction, it's like you are a store or you're the customer, whichever role you want to play. And you figure out a way to get the Bitcoin cheap and sell the Bitcoin at a premium. Every dollar that goes into this will give you a profit. The percentage of that could be small, big. It's still a profit. The bottom line is you're making money. No one can take that money away from you. So retail environment with a lot of cool merchandise that you can use Bitcoin to acquire, like the gift cards. For the audience here, we're in the US, right? The gift cards were the gateway for me. That's what sucked me in. Once I realized I can spend, say, for a $100 gift card, I can get it for like $70 in Bitcoin, right? I'm up 30. How do I get that 100 back into like money? Or like, so you start up $30, for example, right? So how many ways can you use this big cushion you just got from this one trade to make money and keep doing it? That's the creative part. I mean, as an example, if I knew someone, or if I had a group of people that were interested in a certain gift card, and if I can get that gift card at a discount, I would do that. And then I would sell the gift card to the other person at a smaller discount. So if I buy $100 card for 60 and I sell it to someone for 80, I just made 20. And right. that person's happy because they got a card for 20% off. I'm happy, I made $20. And then the first person, they're the one that started the trade, so they must be happy too.
Right.
That's just an example of one of the things you can do. Another example, if I may, is that I'm in Florida. There's a lot of like gas stations that have these Bitcoin ATM machines, and I was curious, like, oh wow, cool! I can buy Bitcoin from a gas station. The problem with the gas station machine is that it wanted like 23%, so that's really high. On Paxful, really high. 23%. Like on Paxful, you can buy Bitcoin at zero. Like you could buy $1 for $1. You can even make an offer to buy Bitcoin at a 5% gain to you. You put that offer up there. I'm not saying they're going to burst through the door to sell you their Bitcoin, but there's someone out there in the planet Earth who is willing to sell it at a loss. And oh my goodness, they bumped into you with your offer, and now you made 5%, for example. That person was able to get the money they wanted for whatever reason, and everyone's happy. Again, it's a platform that just it allows people with different needs that coincide to meet,
find each other. Yeah,
to find each other. There's always someone willing to take a hit, and there's always someone looking to make some money. And as long as you could be on the good side of both of those transactions, you become an entrepreneur. And all of a sudden, you got an extra $50 at the end of the week. You know, oh my God, what do I do with this? You know, it feels fake until you buy something and you see that it's real. And before you know it, you know, maybe you didn't quit your day job yet, but you're starting to think about it. You know, you're going to work and you're, you know, you will notice you have an extra energy. It kind of also separates you from people that are the opposite of my friend. People that bring you down and say, "Oh no, this is, you know, this is all we're ever going to do." You want to try to avoid people, either avoid people like that or try to help them the way my friend helped me. Do not like get in like get on their level with their energy, because then you just, there's no growth. and
Yes,
and
you're
so
speaking to my soul. You're speaking to my soul right now.
that's the biggest thing for Paxful. Like, what is Paxful? It is your opportunity to be the one in your family that made a difference and change the direction of your next generations. That sounds very extreme, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And I
Uh,
take, you know, for me personally, I may be the one for my family that'll do that. Um, I hope I am. If I'm so lucky to have that opportunity, uh, and I have it right now, I'm doing it right now, every day. I get up with the same passion every day. And whether I work for Paxful or whether I'm a user, which I'm both right now, nothing for me has really changed. You know, I still feel very happy when I wake up, and I have a joy that I want to share with people. But what I want to share today though is I didn't think it was possible. There's actually more joy. It's not about money makes you happy. That's a very that has a bad connotation. Like, you deserve money. That's the way I want to say it. There's no reason. Yeah, there's no reason that you shouldn't, you know, someone who just doesn't see it as possible. Oh, I will never have that car. Oh, I would never go on to Hawaii. Why not? Why not? You can get gift cards on Paxful to go to Hawaii for half price. Just saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I guess this is probably the time where I'll jump in and actually just give some use cases, just personal use cases. And so my children are who found Paxful, to be quite honest. My children found Paxful. My daughter was in college and my son had just gotten out of the Navy, but my daughter was the one that was most resourceful as it relates to Paxful. So let me tell you this, she needed books for school and college. She went on Paxful. She sold Bitcoin. She got let's just say the book was 200 bucks. She sold $100 worth of Bitcoin for $200 worth of gift cards. She would go into her bookstore and she'd buy her books. If she wanted to fly home, she would get on Paxful. She would find somebody that had a plane, a Southwest Airlines, because my kids used like at one time my son had like $5,000 worth of Southwest Airlines gift cards from Paxful. But that's how they would travel around and they would just do all this stuff. But if she wanted to go buy some shoes at Nike, she would literally get on Paxful. She would sell her here I go, Bitcoin for a Nike gift card. And she literally would go into Nike and buy $200 worth when all she spent was $100 on Bitcoin. And so I don't even know how. It wasn't until Ryan Lawrence said, "Have you ever thought about Paxful?" And I just wanted to kick myself. You know, sometimes you get so engulfed in things you just forget. And so Ryan is one of those friends like your friend that brought it back up and was like, "Have you ever thought about, Paxful and what Pax?" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I totally forgot." But Paxful literally helped my daughter get through a lot of things in college. But not only that, my son, who had goo gobs of Southwest Airlines gift cards, he was actually able to sell those and make money. And so he just kept them and he did that all the time. And so now yeah, it is absolutely the marketplace for you. So you can go in there. But now I'm thinking, so let me just say this really quick, John, because now I'm thinking, and I still have my Paxful account and I'm gonna get in there tonight. And let me tell you why. Because yesterday I went to the grocery store and yesterday I spent $302 to be exact. and I got 3 packages of ground turkey, each 100 pound. I mean, each 1 pound each. I didn't get any more meat. I got bread and just the basic stuff. And I'm thinking, what in the world am I going to do? Because I have 4 little ones. I'm like, what in the like groceries are going to cost me almost double, if not triple, this month based on the prices going up, right? And I'm thinking, what can I do? And then I got an epiphany this morning. Get yourself back on Paxful and get some gift cards, the Visa gift cards, because you can literally circumvent that price that has been risen in the grocery store or the gas pump, because you can sell your Bitcoin for these increments that are higher than what you're selling your Bitcoin for, right? You're winning. And so I just decided today, this is something that I'm going to get back into ASAP, to try to make sure that I can catch up to where inflation is just taking us here in California. Like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I paid 5.90 something today for gas. And we've got to make up that price difference. And how do we do it? This is the opportunity. And I believe, when the Most High sends us help and rescue, we need to really take heed to it. And I really feel like this has come back into my life at the right time, specifically during this recession, you all, because I know you all don't think that we're in a recession, but we absolutely are in a camouflage recession if they haven't told the truth about it. And so tell us what one would need to do to get going with Paxful.
Oh man. Well, number one, Najah, that was deep. That touched me in ways. That story about your children and using those gift cards and the creativity thing I talked about. Your son got it. He made money. I'm sure that was not his original intention. So, but he did. So
Yeah.
how do you get started? What do you do to be able to say with the gift cards? It's like the gateway for Paxful to become an addict, and it really is, because once you begin to realize how easy it is, it's even for the sport of it, you will find yourself like, I won't buy anything unless I use a gift card. So in order to get started, you got to get some Bitcoin. Well, actually, first you got to get an account, which is super easy. It's a financial application like anyone. They just do your basic what they call KYC, know your customer. So, verify phone, verify email, blah, 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 typical, right? You're on there. You want to buy Bitcoin. You could send Bitcoin to yourself, to your Paxful wallet, but you pay for send out fees. So rather than do that, I mentioned that you could buy Bitcoin and make 5%. Remember, patience is virtue. Make an offer like that. It's really easy to do so. You create an offer, which is the same. You imagine that platform I'm trying to describe. You put your kiosk, your store, like your shopping mall. In the shopping mall, you now have a store. You got real estate. We don't charge you for that. It's free. You make this offer, right? Your offer is advertised that you're looking to buy Bitcoin. You get to pick the way you want to do it. Popular ways for fresh starters, probably the most popular way, a digital wallet. So any of the very popular United States digital wallets, you put it up there. And eventually, it might happen in 5 minutes. It might happen in 5 hours. Someone will come into your offer. You send them money. They release you Bitcoin. You're now halfway there. You now have Bitcoin, and you technically made money. You made money. You didn't.
Well,
You
go ahead. You made money. Go ahead.
you made some money. So by buying the Bitcoin, you already made, say, 3%, even 2%. It's still a profit. It's money you didn't have before. And it's now in Bitcoin. It's in some large decimal of Bitcoin, right? Let's say it's worth the equivalent of 100 USD. Now you go and you flip that by making an offer again to sell the Bitcoin for the gift card of your choice. We offer pretty much all of them. You should go to the page that the existing offers are on already, see what people are charging. When you see the discounts, you'll know what I'm talking about. We're talking like major gift cards and like 20, 30, 40% off 50% off. Make an offer that's competitive or whatever, however, this is where you become an entrepreneur. Through trial and error, you will figure out the best way to do this. I could talk about it, but only by practicing. It's like riding a bike. It's like learning to hit a baseball, to shoot a 3-pointer. Same thing. So you've bought Bitcoin, made a little money on that. You sold the Bitcoin, made a lot of money with this gift card. You could use it for yourself, which, by the way, is generally how it starts. It sounds like, Najah, your kids had that journey. They bought these gift cards, and it's a weird problem to have when you have so many gift cards that you've run out of things to buy. Sounds like sounds like it's unrealistic. It's very realistic, and it can happen quickly. So now you got these gift cards. You're able to get the groceries at a huge discount. You could there's ways to even buy gasoline and save money on that. I think about the more personal stuff, Najah. Like, I remember going to Olive Garden with my family, little son, and we're there ordering like the $5.99 soup and unlimited breadsticks, right? Because that was all we could afford. But man, oh man, with these gift cards, the first thing I did when I had this opportunity was I went to Olive Garden and I got their most expensive meal. Something that I never, ever thought. Literally, I never thought I would have that. Or I wasn't willing to part ways with that money. I couldn't be so selfish, rather than get that one meal, let me buy 4 lower quality meals. So, that's the kind of stuff you can do. You could buy your kid the bicycle that he wants, not a cheaper version. You could buy your kids, you can go to the Nike store and get the good shoes. You know what I mean? Send your kid to school with the nice Nikes, and not to go to Ross or to Marshalls or to Kohl's, not that there's anything wrong with Ross, Marshalls, and Kohl's, but if you could get the Nikes, why not?
For the same prices, Ross, Kohl's, and yeah, you're absolutely right. And
you deserve them. You should get them. That's how you get started. And there is trial and error like anything. If you encounter issues, we have a lot of resources on our website to help you, right? A lot of our good vendors, I mean, these are good people. You could chat with them, you could talk to them, they'll help you through it. It is a peer-to-peer site, so be careful. This platform can attract a whole different element, but just be smart, be confident, and believe in it. You deserve the Nikes.
You definitely do. And I want to ask you a question, John, because I always like to talk about the good, bad, and the ugly. What is something that someone may need to pay attention to on Paxful? Somebody that may be naive and just feels like everybody in this marketplace is doing the right thing. Tell me one thing, and not a bunch, because I know, and again, my adult children were able to kind of decipher who was who and who wasn't. I mean, right off the bat, because they were paying attention. But what are some of the things that are one thing that people should be looking for at Paxful to keep themselves safe?
That's an excellent question that I would love to address. So you would use, from a high level, you would use the same techniques you use in life. The same stuff that you learned from your mom and your dad. You can you ever went into a party or went somewhere and you knew you shouldn't be there. You knew you should get out of there, right? That instinct. So to give it more definition, if it looks too good to be true, it's because it is too good to be true. Be careful with that. I'm telling you that you can do excellent on Paxful with the margins, with the rates, right? The amount you can get a discounted card. But if it's a little too discounted, if it's different than the rest of the offers, like this one person stands out, too good to be true, I would be buyer beware. Be careful. Look, they may be fine, but there's a lot of other options to take. So that's number one. Number two is it's almost like, although every user on Paxful is verified to an extent, do your own personal verification. Check their profile. If you're selling Bitcoin for a certain gift card, go to that user's history and look at their feedback. Do they usually sell that card? If you see no trades for that card and it's their first one, they might be an honest person, but don't be their first trade partner. Go to someone else. Like let someone else deal with that. Like, look for people who have experience, which you could see in their feedback, right? Mm. Look for people who have offers that fit, that they make sense. That's a great deal, but it's not a crazy great deal. Think about, I'm gonna bring this one up. I went to the supermarket, and this is not recently, but there was 10 pounds of chicken quarters of legs, 10 pounds of legs, and it was $1.99.
What?
I kept on walking. I'm like, I'm not buying that. It looked fine. I picked it up. The legs look real good. Look kind of big for chicken, but everything looked like this is a go. I'm gonna throw these on the grill. I did not buy that. Too good to be true. What on earth chickens are those that they cost less than a bottle of water? So if you see 10 pounds of chicken for $2, keep on walking. Find someone that has a deal that's more realistic. So just use your common sense.
That is good. That is good. And I kind of vaguely remember, like I'm telling you, my kids had like spreadsheets with the gift card numbers, and they were doing their thing. And I just vaguely remember my daughter talking to someone, and she was like, "Nah, this don't feel right. I think they're going to take my Bitcoin, so I'm just going to stay away from it." She's like, "But I can make a lot of money, but I can make I can lose a lot of money too." And so, once you get the hang of it and you're in there, I'm actually excited. I want to come back and report back to Paxful and everybody else what I've been doing in the space here, in the next couple of days, because I intend to do some stuff, because I'm thinking there's a way for me to get around these gas prices and this food hike. But it's really, and so also I want to make the announcement now that Paxful, we have a lot of Paxful T-shirts and different things that we are giving away at our Digital Financial Revolution meetups. Our first meetup is scheduled for this Thursday in Houston, Texas, and Paxful will be there with us in heart, in spirit, and physically. And so I just want to publicly say thank you to Paxful for bringing things out for the tour to give out to the community. It is so well received, and we really want to see how, and I'm going to usher as many people in as I can to Paxful to start this Bitcoin entrepreneurship path, because we've got to do something a little bit different than what we're doing. And so we know that people are stacking Bitcoin and Satoshis. And so what I'm trying to do is help people differentiate their Bitcoin that they're stacking and holding for, when that big price when that all-time high is back, we're ready for that. But in the meantime, in the interim, just letting them use a little bit of Bitcoin around around the entrepreneur space to make more money with. And so I think this is the perfect time. I think this is the perfect storm. And so what would you say to someone that's saying, you know what, I don't know if this is right for me? I know, first of all, they got to at least try once or twice. But what would you say to someone that's listening to us today and is really kind of living paycheck to paycheck, but then really not wanting to do anything different?
The first thing I would like to say to someone like that is, you think about this conversation that we're having right now, right? We've been talking. There was never one point where any of us brought up blockchain technology or mentioned that a Bitcoin is worth 24K USD. So someone in that position, if it's because of the complexities of a digital currency, a cryptocurrency, Paxful, that stuff really doesn't matter. So I mean, it genuinely is unnecessary knowledge for a person to need. So that's the first thing I would address is, you don't need to understand anything technical here other than how to buy low and sell high. I would start there. The next thing that I would like to share with a person like that is, I would try to get them hyped up. I was like, yo, did you know the Bitcoin was worth like 60,000 just a short time ago? It's like 24,000 right now. Imagine you doubled your money, like potentially overnight. It's like playing the lotto and you always win. It's like getting a scratch off that's a winner every time.
Yeah.
So I would tell anyone like that, do you ever play lotto? I like to buy scratch offs. My wife loves them, the scratch offs. Man, if you're going to invest, because that's technically an investment in yourself, right? If you think about it, buying a lotto ticket. If you're willing to do that with like a 1 in a billion chance, maybe even worse than that, and we're here telling you that there's a way that you'll have a 100% chance. Even if you only make 2% profit, it's 2% profit that you didn't have before that. Dip your toe in this water. It's not cold. Or maybe you like cold water. I do. I like cold pool. I'll jump in a cold pool. So dip your toe in this water. Give it a shot. Because the percentages of you coming out with a successful experience is so high that I am confident that that could be the one thing that maybe even changes the direction of your life, where your day job, your job doesn't seem like life or death. Bosses can dangle that. Oh man, they could dangle that in front of you. You'll never make it anywhere else but here. That is nonsense. That is a person who they're never going anywhere. They get out of that circle. And when you hang out with people who are willing to experiment and try and fail and succeed, and you're with a crowd like that, I would also encourage someone to do that. If you're having doubts, get some personal accounts from people. Talk to people who have been successful and who have been unsuccessful. Gather this feedback, because the one thing you'll notice about all them people, they're not trapped in that little box. They're all out of it. They're all look at success as something they deserve. They don't feel like their lives are predetermined. Oh, I'm going to work till I'm 65 and I'm going to retire and I'm going to get Social Security. Stop it. And look, people that do that, I love them. I love them. That's like most people I know. I think the more people we shake out of that, even if they end up doing that anyway, at least experiment with it. It's safe. Don't buy lotto tickets. Sell Bitcoin on Paxful.
Absolutely. And so again, and you said get out and talk to some people that share the same sentiments. So get out to the Digital Financial Revolution meetups across the United States and meet folks that are doing Paxful, because we're going to be educating everybody and helping people get started, doing some live demos and letting people see how they can buy gift cards and things like that on Paxful, selling their Bitcoin. We definitely want to, again, continuously say thank you to Paxful for your support and being a sponsor of our meetups. I think that these meetups are going to be huge. There are so many meetups happening across the United States where they are orange peeling the community. And so why not do it in our communities as well? It is our turn. I will say that for the regular everyday person that goes to work and is trying to live from Friday, from payday on Friday till Monday, because that's most people's checks only last that long, from payday on Friday till Monday. And so we want to go from surviving to thriving. And so I'm just excited about the partnership. And I'm going to ask you my question that I love to ask. John, what keeps you up at night? Tell me what keeps you up at night.
I do play a lot of Pokemon Go. I just love that game. So that's one thing that I do at night. But what keeps me up at night is I find myself doing research. I find myself answering questions in my mind. And it can be something from how do I cook a certain meal to, how can I use a certain gift card to make some money, to, how is a better way for me to deal with having an argument with my mom. I mean, so that I'm always trying to, when I'm doing that, what am I doing? It's curiosity. So what I do at night, Najah, is I feed my curiosity. And How do you do that? We have Google, right? That didn't always exist. I hate to sound like an old guy, but like it's such a tremendous resource. It's almost like a genie in a bottle. Honestly, like it's that magical to have this thing where you could ask anything. I'm not saying you believe everything you read, but it does give you this very entertaining window of knowledge to feed that curiosity. So I'm hoping I created I played a role here in creating some curious people, because you should feed that curiosity. Look at Paxful. You could Google it, or just go to paxful.com and experiment. Look at things like drop shipping. So these Nike shoes, right? You could buy them for yourself, or you could buy them and you could sell them on eBay. You could sell them to a friend. You can give them to your sibling. I mean, it's limitless opportunity. But sorry, what keeps me up, Najah, is feeding my curiosity. It keeps me up for real, for real.
Absolutely fine. And it's absolutely fine, John. And I have loved this conversation. And so, everyone, please feed your curiosity for those of you that haven't gone on Paxful. And I'm going to go on to my social media probably tomorrow, because I've been, we just got off tour, and I drove back to Houston, and I'm back now. And I'm really just trying to figure out the whole what I need to be talking about and reporting on social media. But I really feel like after looking at and thinking, like, I'm up at night, my curiosity, but more how we can get ahead a little bit more, just as regular everyday folks. And so this is a great way to do it. And I'm going to be reporting. So I'm looking forward to reporting back about what's happened on the Paxful platform. And I would be remiss if I didn't ask this. Now, if you don't know, I have absolutely have no issues with that. But I do want to ask this question because I have it for myself. So I have $100 worth of Bitcoin. Let's say I bought $100 worth of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's price is 22,000 right now. Okay, and I guess the price doesn't even matter. But when I sell my Bitcoin for a gift card, have I created a taxable event? Is my question.
Najah, that's a good question. I don't feel equipped to answer it entirely.
Okay. Right. But if you don't know, I don't, it's fine because I don't either. And then we do have a tax guy. We have a gentleman by the name of CJ, the smart guy, and he probably can help us a little bit more. But I would imagine because you sold it for a gift card and you didn't take a loss. I'm just thinking about this thing. But
well, it's a gift card though. So I mean, ultimately, the word gift is in the name. So
okay.
I'm just saying, like, it is ultimately a gift, even if you paid. Yes, you bought it.
But you actually gave it away for the gift.
I would assume anything that you transact, that you are the store owner for, that makes a profit, is probably a taxable event.
Okay.
This is a very unique flow. So
okay.
I would maybe I'll be on the show again and I'll be able to answer a question like that. I'm really not sure. I will say this for myself, because I've done quite a bit of the gift card trading. I do put that in my taxes, like as Bitcoin. I don't mention gift cards, but whatever crypto assets, and you get walked through the process with like a TurboTax machine, right?
Right.
I've never had to pay tax on it. I report it. I am very transparent with it, and for my own personal case, I live in Florida. I don't know if that matters, but I have never had to pay taxes on it.
Okay, and then one last question, just for the formalities. So every trade that you do on Paxful, there is a record, or do you need to keep independent records yourself? Like my daughter has this spreadsheet of all of her gift cards and all the things that she's purchased on Paxful, or she did when she was in college. So should one continue to do that, or does Paxful have those transactions for you as well?
Paxful saves them in a really nice way. So you could actually download a CSV file with your
Okay.
and you can get like a full breakdown of it. However, I will say this: what your daughter was doing, it's part of the pride of your work. It's part of being an entrepreneur. You don't necessarily need those spreadsheets, but if you want to know how much money did I get out when I put $1 into this machine I created, and I got out how much, it feels good because it'll be $1.26 maybe. So no, you don't need the spreadsheets, but I encourage anyone that's doing this as a business, as a young, brand new one, or even anyone that's now getting into entrepreneurship, you should keep it. But we do have those records. Yeah, you could access that at any point on Paxful with details, your trade partner, the amount of Bitcoin, the type of card, everything, even the chat history. You could even go back to that.
Cool. Well, I really, really appreciate you, John. And I know everyone else does as well. And we want to make sure everyone that we're following Paxful on all social medias, but not just following Paxful. I would like everybody to take out their entrepreneurship tool from their tool belt. Let's log into Paxful and let's start sharing some of the trades and some of the things that we've been able to do. Because I know for a fact, I have to take some trips on an airplane. And what an epiphany. I should have had the epiphany already. I can get in there and say I need some Delta because I like to fly Delta. You can be specific and say I like a Delta gift card or some Delta Sky Miles or whatever that is, and be able to transact. So I'm going to get creative myself. And again, John, I thank you so much. Is there anything else that you wanted to share with us today that we haven't covered?
I'm just hoping that whoever gets touched by this video, whether it be with Paxful or not, at least is thinking outside of that little box I mentioned in the beginning. We are as big as we make ourselves, and let's get it. We how'd you say it, Najah? We don't survive, we thrive.
Yeah, we're going from surviving to thriving.
It's our turn. Yes, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. It touches me in a very special way. I feel very lucky to be in this room.
Absolutely, and we feel lucky to have you. And when we do our meetup, our DFR meetup in South Florida, hopefully you can come out and attend and see what we're doing and how we're introducing people to Paxful, as well as some other things that they need to be doing in the entrepreneurship space. And so that's it. I just, we're bumping up against the top of the hour. And I just, again, want to say thank you to Mr. John Balrup for being here today and telling this story and sharing with us his journey in the space. And follow Crypto Blockchain Plug. Follow me, Najah Roberts, on all social media, please. And then look out for meetups in your area. Again, sponsored by Paxful. We will have meetups in almost every city. I am envisioning us having a meetup every single month on a Thursday in the city near you. So if you're interested in hosting one of these Paxful sponsored meetups, please reach out to us at asknajahroberts@gmail.com. Again, asknajahroberts@gmail.com. We will work with you to make sure that you get your space in place. We'll make sure that you have your advertisement and everything that you need to make your event successful. Again, Mr. John, and again to Paxful, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you, and you all have an incredible rest of your evening. Peace and blessings. Talk to you all later.
This summer on the Digital Financial Revolution Tour, we travel to over 30 cities across the U.S. to spread the word about Bitcoin, generational wealth, and financial freedom. By popular demand, the revolution continues. Join the Queen of Crypto, Najah Roberts, and her special guests for a 3-day deep dive this October 21st through the 23rd in the ATL. Get your tickets early because this will sell out. Visit dfrexperience.com for more info.